You. What's up, everybody?
What's
I,
up?
I know, weird, but
Yeah, no, you good.
I know. So look, everyone, we all have accounts. So I'm going to put all the links below. So you have the only brand. I'm going to link his TikTok. He's on YouTube. You got the Versatile Show. I'll have his linked. My stuff will be linked. So make sure you're hitting up the description. Go to those links to follow everyone if you enjoy what you're seeing today. So today's topics, we're going to go over the Jimmy Kimmel show. Everyone knows Jimmy Kimmel got canceled, but he's being such a hypocrite about it because he laughed and cheered on everybody else getting canceled for very similar reasons of their speech. Your speech doesn't just say that you are without any repercussions of it. Then we're going to dive into other topics like the Kamala Harris book and anything else that we should see or look at.
Yeah, so the Jimmy Kimmel thing's interesting, and I just want to point out that a lot of the left is calling it, basically saying that the right is invoking cancel culture. But I think they're forgetting what type of things they use to cancel people, like where they would go back to like 20 years ago, where someone was dressed up like an Indian for Halloween, and they would all of a sudden try to cancel them for some sort of cultural appropriation. This is inherently a different situation with Jimmy Kimmel, and I think that premise needs to be noticed before we even start on any of this. So,
Well, I think the biggest aspect of that too is it's not even his speech, it's not the freedom of speech, it's the fact that when you start to lose advertisers, when people don't want to advertise with you and ABC is going to lose money, you're going to lose your job. I mean, that's just that's how the corporate world works and Jimmy knows that.
Of course. And I mean, if they want to go back and look at everything he's done, he did blackface. He was part of the Man Show where he was having women try to find something that was within his pants, and they were grabbing on his junk area, as most would call it. Like, do you really condone that, Democrats? Because at this point, I have no clue what they stand for anymore.
well, yeah,
I saw a video earlier. He was walking around, "Hey, will you have sex with me? Will you have sex with me?" Like, is that something the Democrats usually condone? Well, yes, when it's Jimmy Kimmel and not
well,
somebody.
yeah,
Like if that was even Shane Gillis, more than likely. Shane doesn't affiliate himself anywhere, but if it was just even somebody middle ground, they'd lose their shit.
it stands on their hypocrisy. And I think I called it out last night whenever we were talking to some people. Like you wholly won't condemn that act because of the ideological leanings this person has. Like you won't actually shut their speech down because you agree with what they're saying because it promotes your political narrative. But had this have been anybody on the right, you would wholly condemn it. And we gave examples like, do you condemn this? Do you condemn this? And they inherently just said yes because that person is on the right. But whenever it comes to Jimmy Kimmel, they're like, well, you have to understand where he's at now in life. He's obviously changed. And I think you gave the example, Hoff, and even though we don't agree with it, Roseanne Barr, but you gave the example that Roseanne Barr apologized for what she did.
Yep.
So,
Yeah, she said a racist comment. Nobody agrees. She was canceled. She gave up all rights to the show and anything with the show so it could continue on with a different name. And they moved on. But you didn't hear the left calling for her to come back.
Let's remember he was also given the opportunity to apologize and make a personal donation to Turning Point and the Kirk family. He could have given $200. Something he would have. It just doesn't matter. Wouldn't have mattered to him.
Yep.
$200, personal donation. Put your apology out, and your show would have been fine.
well,
That's
I
all
think
they asked you to do, but instead you decided not to do that. You want to be a hard ass over a stupid comment that you made. You're not getting canceled for your freedom of speech. You're getting canceled because, again, people don't want to platform Jimmy anymore.
Well,
That's
I
just the
think
reality.
I think it comes down to people forget that other people's rights don't stop just because you have a right to something. And in the First Amendment, not only do we have the right of free speech, we have the right of association. If I choose not to associate you because of something that you said, because of your freedom of speech, and this applies to a business as well. Businesses had First Amendment rights ever since Ulysses S. Grant passed it into law, stating that the First Amendment extends to U.S. businesses as well to speak on who they want to relate to, what type of speech they will regulate, and everything like that. They have a First Amendment right to say and do what they want, but the fact is they have a freedom of association, and if they don't want to associate themselves with with your speech, that is their right. your right does not force them to have to platform nor listen to you. And I think that's where a lot of people get this mixed up. You do not have a right to force somebody. You have the right to say whatever you want without it being criminalized. You do not have the right to force somebody to listen to what you're saying, nor force somebody to platform what you have to say.
Mm-hmm. And I mean, they forgot that they even fired Gina Carano because of things she said. Like, Disney consistently does this. They're holding the same ground where your speech will have consequences if it doesn't fit their policies or narratives of truthfulness, racistness, or anything of the sort. And they never once spoke up. It's only now because Trump administration didn't like it. The FCC chair did make some comments, but the comments were not the reasoning why they pulled the plug.
I mean,
Well,
look, I don't like Disney by any stretch of the imagination, but every company has the right to let somebody go because they don't align with their company values. I mean, it's the reality of life. Company cannot agree with my political values and let me go. And again, most right to work states.
well, that's the thing. You can't file discrimination based on them terminating you over political beliefs because a political alignment is not a protected class. So it doesn't matter. Like that's even in a if your actual character and actions don't align with the business and they see it as a detriment to their business, which in Jimmy Kimmel's sake, no. And here's the thing: they're all saying that the FCC pressured these people. Everybody has come out. Nexstar Media, Sinclair, the ABC, Disney. They all came out saying that the FCC had not pressured them. I think Nexstar explicitly said we haven't even been in communications with the FCC. We haven't talked to anybody. They did this of their own fruition. And whenever Disney sees that, like, this is detrimental to our company, if our affiliates aren't going to play our stuff, we're already losing money on this show. We need to just fucking pull the plug on this. So,
Yeah, they love to blame the merger. They're saying the merger was being worked on, and they're blaming that.
well, they use that as a deflection tool with Stephen Colbert too. They're like,
Yep.
"Oh, it's all because of a merger." It has nothing to do. Then why are you complaining? They did what they had to get a merger. That's business.
Yeah, because
Like,
he
none of
wasn't
these people
profitable.
cared. None of these people cared when Tucker Carlson was fired. Actually, they did care to the extent of celebrating it.
I
More
was
than
gonna
I've
say,
seen anybody celebrate Jimmy Kimmel's firing.
Hoff,
All of them celebrated to the rooftops that Tucker Carlson was fired off Fox News.
I'm pretty sure there's
Yeah.
a compilation going around right now on TikTok. Hoff, I don't know if you can pull that up. There's a compilation on TikTok of Jimmy Kimmel bragging about Roseanne Barr, about Donald Trump being removed from
Twitter
Twitter and social
and
media,
Facebook.
and he's making comments about Tucker Carlson. Like it's literally the height of hypocrisy now that he's crying. And I find it even more hysterical because Versa, I don't know if you know this, but Jimmy Kimmel's team has reached out to ABC trying to get his show back. Because
Oh,
one
yeah.
of the people last night came in saying, "No, Jimmy Kimmel's back on the air." I was like, "No, his team is begging for his spot back because he actually wants the money." So we'll see if he actually does the terms of what people requested. So we'll see if he bows down. And if he does apologize, liberals are just going to scream that Trump, this is all because of fascism, and he's bowing down to the fascists.
Well, the reality is Jimmy knows he needs ABC. Jimmy can't be a Tucker Carlson. He can't be a Candace Owens. He can't even be a Alex Jones. He's not going to go off on his own and have any success at all, especially when no one wants to advertise him, fund him, do any of the sort. He's going to have to do it on his own, and Jimmy Kimmel just doesn't have that capability unless he wants to be another. Who is it? Danny Mullen? Who's that YouTuber that does funny skits? Like that's about the only thing I could see Jimmy Kimmel having somewhat success with, is being like a YouTube prankster.
Yeah, that'd be it. I mean, the only thing I could find was
He
the
knows
Tucker
that.
Carlson
He
one.
needs ABC. So without ABC, Jimmy Kimmel's nothing. He doesn't have a show. He doesn't have a name.
Yeah, which again, the Tucker Carlson one was warranted, but they celebrated it.
Oh yes, no, it's just the hypocrisy. Like
Yeah.
that both are warranted.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
you can't make claims that's going to hurt the MAGA movement, especially when we're coming up into the midterms soon. And here you are saying
It's not even about
all
that.
of what he said.
It's just fucking lying. It was just a fucking lie. It's a disgusting lie. So he could perpetrate a conspiracy that's being pushed by liberals. That's all it is. This is no different. and this is what I'm pointing out, him trying to spin a conspiracy for a lie is no different than what fucking Tucker Carlson trying to spin a conspiracy based on a lie ended up having to, like, Fox ended up having to pay almost $1 billion over that. So I don't see how, if Tucker isn't allowed to do it and they cheer, why they're so fucking upset whenever Jimmy Kimmel is sitting there doing the same thing, lobbying conspiracy theories without evidence so that he can promote his base and outrage. So
I don't get what sense it makes why it was even something that he can't just say, you know what, I'm sorry, I did mess up. Let's move on. I'll make the donation. Again, it was so outrageously wrong. It's not like this is something worth defending, but I guess it's his pride. I really don't know. I mean, maybe you guys do, but I have no clue what it's worth defending if you actually want your show back.
I think the main reason they're defending it is based on narrative, so they can push the fascist narrative harder.
I get it, but like you got to think the political world, especially the left, have very short memories. He can go on air, apologize. He could make a tweet and apologize. And you know what? They're not even going to take it at face value. They're going to say, oh, he had to, but he's back. That's all they're going to care about. Like, let's just be honest.
Well, yeah, they don't care that Biden had to drop out for plagiarism and lying in '88. They don't care he made racist comments and stuff in legislation and stuff he said on the Senate floor. They care nothing about the history of their own party. They will just vote him back in. They will celebrate him. Like, now, Disney, they first profitability with all their streaming platforms was this time last year. It was like August of last year. Now, thanks to their hatred of Jimmy Kimmel saying something that was a lie and getting canceled, they're going to reduce Disney to no profitability and losing a shit ton of money.
Now, not to sidetrack really quick, this is a huge sidetrack, but did I see something that AOC is going to make an attempt to run for presidency? Or
Yes.
Okay, yeah. Do we
2028?
I mean, it's just going to be another Bernie situation. They don't want to run AOC. She'd actually be a really good talent. I don't agree with anything she has to say, but I think she'd actually have a chance on a national level. But
the only brand 2028.
The only brand.
Well, I could ask.
I think they're going to do the same thing to her they did to Bernie. They're not going to platform AOC more than they already have. She's reached her max in Democrat politics. She's too socialist.
Speaking of maxing on Democrat politics, I think that's a segue into the next position on Kamala Harris's book. Is it not?
Yeah.
Kamala Harris
also,
had quite a few things to say about Tim Walz. Whenever this is the thing that led to his popularity on the Democrat national stage.
Yeah, nobody knew who he was.
Yeah, nobody.
When AOC loses,
I didn't know who Tim Walz was.
AOC definitely loses.
Yeah. Now, are they going to create a new position for her? Is there going to be a position of Secretary of Bartending inside of the White House administration?
I will say that pick always kind of did confuse me, though, because if you were going to try and win over more quote-unquote white men, why would you do it with a, not to be blunt, but like pathetic, weak white man? Like they're no strength. The most strength he showed was trying to put on a camo hat and pretend he's a hunter. I mean,
so she literally said that she chose him because he went viral that week on social media.
No.
Wow.
That was her. So she goes off in the bush.
Right, that's like half a box
she's talking about her
that decision. There's no way.
Her first choice was Pete Buttigieg, but she was scared that America just wasn't ready for a black woman, yet alone a black woman and a gay man. As if the majority of Republicans support gay marriage at this point in this country.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know why they thought
An
that was
overwhelming majority. I'd say 70% plus.
Mar-a-Lago has a lot of gay marriages happening down there.
But she literally says that she chose him because he went viral for saying that for making the Republicans are just weird comment, that whole viral thing that went across social media.
So you have one state that guarantees you where they said 93% chance of winning the election if you won Pennsylvania and you don't choose the governor, Josh Shapiro of Pennsylvania. What sense does that make?
Well, one, you needed Pennsylvania. Two, I mean, I'm not hating on the Josh Shapiro pick. I don't think that would have done her any good or any bad either. It would have been the same thing as Tim Walz. I think Tim Walz and Josh Shapiro were the same thing.
Well, there was no way she was going to pick
No.
Josh Shapiro, not in the
He's
wake
Jewish.
of the pro-Palestinian movement and him being Jewish.
Yep.
Yeah,
She was,
yeah.
she was trying to play both sides of the fence on that one. She
Yeah.
wasn't going to pick a Jew.
Yeah, because they showed different ads supporting different sides depending on where you lived. They
already
literally made
in that aspect to just like far
Yeah.
leftists that didn't vote. Like, I mean, I
And-
think that was a big thing in this election too. Was we had a lot of far leftists that didn't vote. Not a lot, but some that were like, no, I can't vote for them because of this one thing. Which I mean,
wait.
I don't know. Not
Are we talking the ones that are like in the grave and voted in the 2020 election that they didn't validate that they were still alive?
well, those as well. Yes, no. I'm talking about I'm not talking about 11 million people here. I'm talking about max probably 700,000. Like very
Yeah.
far left wing,
I'd
promote.
I'd still
No,
like to
everything's
find
good.
out where the 81 million people are at.
I'm
Like,
still-
we-
I'm looking for. I can excuse. Let's say they sat out. Let's say a whole bunch of people sat out. They didn't like either candidate. Sure. Let's say a whole bunch of people just wanted to maybe vote third party, go third party, or maybe vote Kanye again. Who knows? We had what 70,000 vote for Hawk Tua. Let's
Kanye.
count those numbers in there, right? Like, maybe 5 million votes. I mean, where the fuck did 11 million go? But that's just me.
Yeah, it was wild, and they're saying it's because of a lot of policies of 2020 where people had way easier time to vote, and it's like, okay, you're talking about where a mayor had one of his staff members stuffing ballots and was caught on camera, and she pled the fifth. Like, that easy to vote? Yeah, but I love that she touted out. She tried to get Governor Gavin Newsom to endorse her, and he said he was hiking and will get up with her later, and
Well,
never did.
It just goes to show that they tried to say that the reason that they lost is because of misogyny and racism, but it seems like a lot of that was misogynist, racist fucking ideology was coming from the left. Whenever you have Gavin Newsom, who's like this open, like woke champion of the left, and he's like, I'm not endorsing her. No, it sounds like it was the calls coming in from inside the house. You know what I mean? So,
The Democrats knew that she had no chance. They knew inside alone.
well, they
that she
knew
was very
it was a dead
incompetent.
election for them.
And I mean that's why they had to force the Obamas endorsement as well. They literally got 3 weeks later in a phone call that they put on national TV. For all we know, that was fucking AI. They didn't even call her.
Well,
Like nobody was on the phone. I don't know. Like, what did you just record a video?
I need to start looking, but I could not find once she was running the job approval rating that MSNBC showcased of her vice presidency right before she was announced as the runner for presidency. They had a job approval rating for her, and it was the lowest ever. She beat out Dan Quayle. That's how bad it was. Like, how are you worse than Dan Quayle for H.W. Bush? That's really bad. But they scrubbed it. I haven't found it on YouTube anymore.
I mean, you could just pay attention to simple things like her Fox interview and tell how incompetent she was. Again, I would have rathered a senile old Joe over what I just saw, because at least he had an excuse for his decline there. She had no excuse other than possibly alcoholism to be that incompetent.
Well, a lot of times when asked serious questions, she laughed them away. She never gave a serious answer.
There's no, well, she wouldn't even give an answer. It'd be, well, Brett, so the American people, like, come on.
Yeah, like tell us what good policies she had for you guys that she was getting passed in Congress. Like, it can't be codifying Roe v. Wade, because whenever Susan Collins tried to do that, they wouldn't even let it get out of committee. They don't care about the core principles of codifying Roe v. Wade. They pushed through their WHPA and FOCA in the past, knowing that Republicans won't support the overreaching that those did, and not just codified Roe v. Wade. so they could tell the American people they're trying when they haven't been. If you overreach, you're not going to get the bipartisan support.
No,
Yeah.
I mean, bipartisan support on anything's hard nowadays. So, I mean,
Oh, yeah. They can't even show bipartisan support for condemning political violence.
violence, yeah.
All because it names Charlie Kirk in there and just stating that this also honors Charlie Kirk in naming this bill. And you have people like AOC that are condemning the bill itself, which means you're literally saying you're okay with political violence. Just like Jasmine Crockett nodded her head in a interview where it was an MSNBC interview where they said that the Democrats, liberals need to pick up weapons to start fighting.
I am glad to know that Charlie didn't just bring about love and care in our community. He also did make the liberals finally love and care about Melissa Hortman. Didn't hear her name really at all. They didn't care until Charlie's name was floated around so much. It hurt to just see it on every social media they had, that they had to start talking about Melissa Hortman, which I think we should all condemn political violence as a whole, but I think it's weird.
Yeah.
One side didn't care about their own political violence until Charlie's name was floated around so much, hurt their eyes, and then they also still can't condemn it in a House bill that would simply be condemning political violence on any side.
Yeah, and I'm going to say it again. There's people of Walmart on both sides. That's low IQ people on both sides. But when I hear a left side talking about Melissa Hortman, but they call her Melissa Hoffman, it's like, if you can't even pronounce her name correctly, you have no business talking about her to try to honor her name.
Well, here's the thing. We see them pushing like stories and everything else. It makes sense that they would get caught up in their own lies. Even if we look at the most recent story, because let's face it, they need something in the wake of this Charlie Kirk incident. And we saw the Delta State incident. And the very first thing that came out, and I called Aaron Parnas out for this the day that he reported on it. Because by the time that he reported on it, all he said was that there was 2 African Americans that had been hung in the state of Mississippi.
Yep.
I saw,
and that was not true.
But yeah. First off, one of them was white, and the whole time there's people going off like they're like, we don't have any information on this, blah blah blah. They're not ruling anything out. He even talked about the broken bones. And I was like, that's already been disproven at the time that you posted this. Like, the news came out hours before you posted this that the Bolivar County coroner had already ruled there was no broken bones, there's no lacerations, there's no contusions, no bruises, and you're still pushing this narrative because they needed something in the wake of Charlie Kirk.
I was about to say, I saw, wasn't that, and like that was ruled as suicide, right?
Yeah, it was ruled as suicide. Yes. It was ruled as suicide. Yeah.
Yeah, and I saw this video immediately. I don't know if it was Aaron's. I think it was somebody else's. Immediately after it was posted, didn't have any likes yet, no comments. And I go and immediately look this up because obviously I'm like, that would be terrible, right? Like what the hell is going on? I go and look this up, and it's already there. I mean, this was a 5-second Google search away. For you to find out that this was a suicide, most of these people knew it was a suicide. And then I let her know in the comments, hey, this was a suicide, so please stop spreading misinformation to spread a narrative. And I got a lovely response. She did know it was a suicide. She said, you really believe that?
Wow.
Well,
yeah.
The thing is, they're trying to make it seem like the government's lying because they're like, it's Mississippi. They're not going to tell you the truth. And I was like, Bolivar County is Democrat. It's ran by Democrats. On top of that, the police chief and the chief of the Department of Public Safety for the school, both black. If there's black men being hung in the streets, they're gonna let you know. I promise you.
Yeah,
Definitely
but hey,
let you know.
They're gonna find out the truth because Colin Kaepernick is paying for the one guy to have a new autopsy done because they don't believe it. He's not paying for both. You know, his racist ass is only paying for the black guy only. I wonder why.
The crazy part is they were automatically able to rule, like, we don't know much about the other guy, but we can infer based on it. But the fact that it fell off the second that people found out he's white, but we can infer things about him too. He was found outside of an Ameristar casino. He's homeless. I'm assuming he probably lost the last of whatever he fucking begged for, and he was just at his end. It's sad. It's tragic.
Yeah.
It's not a hate crime in any fashion. I don't know what else to say. Like, let the investigations weigh out, I guess. But
Yeah.
this one at Delta State, there is most certainly, like, there's no evidence to even assume their claims. They've been disproven. The family's requesting on all social media platforms for them to stop saying the broken bones lie.
Yep.
Because they're like, we're literally getting threats at the coroner's office who's handling our son's stuff, and we want answers on this. But if they're under constant threat because you guys are making up lies, then we can't get anything done.
Yeah. It's crazy. And they're still peddling. That's all they do on the left right now is peddle lies because they have no platform to talk about what the Democrats are doing that's good for them. They have nothing.
You know, Trump is doing pretty well right now because there's, it's been a solid month, I will say, solid month and a half that I haven't heard any, oh, Trump is doing this. It's been back to the race and just literally all the deflection when you get to something. Got to think about something, narratives. It's
just to be clear,
nice.
They're still raging about the fact that Trump on this day is still higher than both Bush and Obama on this day of his second term as opposed to their second terms. Trump is rocking at 46.3% to Obama's 43.9% to Bush's 42.1% average. So this touting of he's the least popular president in history, there's some people below him right now, and this is the whole average of his presidency. This is where they all fell based on their averages into second term.
I mean, Obama got lucky with his second presidency having to run against Mitt Romney. I mean,
yeah, Mitt Romney was
a landslide for fucking anybody.
Yeah. Oh, I got told today that people are hurting with their 401ks because stocks are down. And I was like, where? Can you show me? Because they're at all-time highs. In fact, over the year, your Dow Jones was up over 9%. Your NASDAQ was up over 17, I believe it is.
I would
we are up. We are
24/7.
I was gonna say we are up over the anticipated good yearly average. Like, because you want to see at least an 8% return. We are beyond the 8%, and we still have a whole quarter to go through.
Yep. Oh, and I made videos telling people that Oracle was going to own TikTok. They should invest. And in 1 month, Oracle boomed up over $100. I didn't have the real money to invest, but if all y'all didn't listen to me, you should listen to me.
I didn't hear you, but I also am broke off, so I'll work on.
Yeah, I didn't have that much to invest.
I sell a lot of memorabilia here. It's nice. It doesn't mean I profit that much.
I won't pull up my stocks.
Grant, hop in.
No, I don't. See, here's the thing. I don't like discussing stocks with people. I pay somebody to do mine. I can do mine, but it's just I want to enjoy some of my free time now that I'm retired. So I am completely hands off with my business for the most part, unless somebody really messes up. I'm hands off with my stocks. I just want to enjoy life at this point in life, guys. If I'm being 100% honest.
Going to school for a lawyer is enjoying your free time.
Listen, okay, my kids are at school. Okay, I gotta do something. I can't be stuck at the house all day, huh?
Grant is a different individual. He said, "I'm bored. Let me go to law school. Just for the fucking fun skis."
Are you
Yeah.
Do you guys not like to just sit at home and read?
No.
I'll sit at home and read. I don't necessarily need to go to law school to do that. But
Yeah.
look, to each their own. Again, Brand. I think it's a great, noble decision. I just think you are at a level of boredom I've not reached yet.
Well, is it a level of boredom or a level of like financial security where I can just kind of
That as well.
fill out all
Yeah.
my endeavors kind
Both.
of deal? So,
I mean, yes.
Because you guys understand whenever you reach a certain point in life, and this is not dogging on anybody that watches this or you guys individually. Whenever you reach a certain point in life, if you don't have to actually worry, you start like pursuing different things and like, well, where can I like improve myself here? I don't want to be somebody who stagnates in retirement and just fucking ends up with chronic diabetes glued to my couch watching MASH as I fall asleep.
No,
Okay, that's not what I
what
foresee
I'd
for
love
myself.
to get to. Trust me.
Yeah, so it's just a matter of like, I have the means, and I just want to pursue something that I just want to do. I just
I
want.
mean,
I know.
I don't like to stop learning in life. If I'm completely honest, I feel like that. The second you stop progressing in life, like progressing towards something, it's the second that life's over. So
Yeah, that my boredom is what caused me to join the military. Like my parents had what they called that white knight card for satellites to watch everything for just the cost of the card and reprogramming. So I would just sit at home watching TV. I lost my job and my grandmother hit the lottery for $1 million and I went hog wild. And then I was like, well, I got no job and the military said they could give me IT work. So I joined.
if anybody wants to know why I joined the military, it's because I grew up fucking poor. The military was my plan B, just to be clear. I joined the military. I ended up signing up for the Guard initially. So I signed up for the Guard and I transitioned to active first because I decided I really liked it after basic training. Like I amended my contract to where I would just go active duty for the first 3 years. And then, but the whole point of it was I joined strictly because just in case I didn't end up landing academic scholarships, which I did.
Oh, damn.
That I wouldn't have to try to rely on going into extreme debt or my parents to be able to go to college. So
Yeah. So
I did it for my own future, and then I ended up never using that stuff anyways. I gave it to my kids.
So you grew up close to my age, but your plan B wasn't the whipped cream bikini and trying to entice someone to grab their coattails on out of here?
No. There was nobody to fucking whip cream bikini for as I grew up in the middle of a cornfield. I was a half mile from my nearest neighbor. So.
Oh, dang. No, see, I didn't have that. Like, yeah, our neighbors weren't super close, but like close enough. And I had people around that I could go to. It wasn't a farmland traveling a half mile.
Yeah. But no, I feel like everyone should continue to progress forward.
We'll cut this part out.
Nah, leave that in there.
I feel like everyone should progress forward in life. No matter what your dream is, pursue it. Even if it is a fucking a degree in underwater basket weaving. If that's what makes you happy, it's what makes you happy. Don't expect me to fucking pay for anything. Like I said, whenever you want to, I'm pursuing what I want to do because I have the financial means to do so. You always need to make sure that A and B are square before you pursue C. So
yeah, well, and that's the thing about being happy. Like if you get a degree, you do something, but you're trying to do whatever here on social media. If you force it because you're not happy doing it, but you can do it, you're probably not going to be successful. But if you're happy about it, you might be successful on here because people will see you're enthusiastic.
Listen, I'm one of those weird kids. I loved school. I absolutely loved school. I love learning new things. I loved math. I loved history. I'm very good at science. I retain things very easily. I have what you would call a photocentric memory. So not photographic memory, photocentric. So basically, like keyword like if I hear keywords, I can pick up and remember a topic that I've learned before. Like it's nothing.
Yeah.
So that's why I do so well retaining information, and I don't usually have to reference back to things many times to bring them up whenever we debate these people. So.
Oh yeah, like it's bad. The people of Walmart on TikTok are really bad, and they rage bait me into getting up in there and showcasing the facts. And I offered $5,000 if they could show me that Trump said he would run as Republican because the Republican voters are stupid and will vote for him. It's like, where? Because Snopes already proved that was a lie. And then they played a parrot AI audio clip and they said, this is from an Oprah interview. I said, okay, instead of an AI clip, show me the Oprah interview. Don't show me the AI clip. And they kicked me because they couldn't find it. That was a lie.
And what was our final topic, Hoff? Just so we can get into it.
Erika. So they love to claim that Erika Kirk is a trad wife. That's all she was a traditional wife just for Charlie Kirk to pop out babies. Like, she has no credentials of her own, which is sad. I've also heard the lie perpetuated that she was doing ministry services in Romania and she was kicked out. FYI, while we lost Versatile, she did do ministry services over in Romania. She was not kicked out. There's no official ties to her with Jeffrey Epstein in this or Trump in this. And no one's been able and has investigated saying that there was anything involved in that. So why the left is perpetuating that lie on TikTok, I don't know. And you guys should call them out, because if it's proven, I'll tell you that I was wrong. But if you can't prove it, why lie? Why lie about any of this? Because when I know it was a proven lie, I offer money. And again, they can't show it.
What a lot of people don't realize too is, like, not only did she do all that, but she also runs, like, she has her own 501c3. She has Everyday Heroes Like You.
Yep.
She's now the CEO of Turning Point. She
Yep.
she already hosted a podcast called the Midweek Rise Up podcast. On top of that, she earned her degree in poli-sci and international relations, and
Which
then
is a doctorate.
No,
She's got a doctorate in ministry.
Well, she's got a doctorate in Christian leadership. She has, but she obtained her Juris Master degree and then went on to get a doctorate. In Christian leadership. Yes, she attended what was it? She attended Regis University. She attended Arizona State University, and then she went to Liberty University, and that's where she got her Juris Master degree and then a doctorate in Christian leadership. So, on top of that, all while being in the Miss Arizona pageant.
Yeah.
So,
like,
she's a very accomplished person for a stay-at-home trad wife.
Yeah. Like, Charlie Kirk said he taught politics and religion with her on their first date. Like, he'll tell the story better about their first date and why he fell in love with her.
She also works in real estate, and she owns her own streetwear clothing store.
Oh, yeah, that's a trad wife all day long.
Totally a trad wife.
Like, the left has been really insane in their rhetoric of hatred and not understanding anything of what they speak on. Like, and you'll get even the ones that have a big platform. Chris Mowry came into my live, and for whatever reason, stupid TikTok live studio on PC will show a black box. So if I show the clip, they're going to say that's not his voice. They're going to make claims. Yeah. But he definitely came in there and perpetuated the lie that Ashley Biden's diary did not contain that she her father showered with her when she was a teenager, and that was probably inappropriate when Snopes confirmed it.
A little hint to you, just have your phone screen record in the future.
Yeah, that's what I'll do.
Yeah.
Because, like, he came in saying that was wrong and that she told the judge that it was all lies when she said we're lying about stuff and misrepresenting what was said. How do you misrepresent that? How do you lie about that, which was you telling them that you forever have to live with your diary being out there?
Yeah. Yeah.
And he only came in because I mentioned when they tried to say that Trump said this about his daughter. Trump said this, and I was like, what's worse? Saying a thing like that where you're saying something that I don't like how he said it, but in a complimentary way that was bad saying for his daughter, or physically showering with your teenage daughter. And that's when he jumped in. But I do love on podcasts where he admitted he loses followers when he criticizes the Democratic Party and that the Democratic Party is shit. Like they're horrible. And you have Harry right next to him giving these looks and acting like, oh my gosh, dude, like we're going to lose our $8,000 dark money revenue. Yeah, I love that. Where's the Republican Party's dark money? Like, can I get in on that?
You got to get with Mitch McConnell on that. I'm not saying there's no dark money streams in the Republicans, but it's
streamers.
Really it's really that. I wouldn't say the streamers, but I'm saying that old guard Mitch McConnell style Republican. There's definitely some dark money there.
The problem,
so I don't trust him.
Mitch is too old, and you ask him a legitimate question, and he stands there like a deer in a headlight. He's gone now. I mean, he's not rerunning anyways, but it was time for him to go like 8 years ago, at least.
Yeah, Mitch has been far past his time.
Yeah. Whenever he should have been voted out after he stroked out during that speech.
Yeah.
So but just to wrap this all up, since we're on to Erica, did you guys let's address the elephant in the room with the Candace Owens conspiracy before we wrap all this up. Where do you guys feel on that?
She's like, prove everything you say. If you're such good friends with Charlie Kirk at the end, then why did you guys not follow each other on social media? Why did you just start following Erika 2 days ago? Why do you show nothing? Every time you make claims, you never show receipts. You are a grifter like Tucker Carlson and Alex Jones.
The only thing I will say, and I think so many people take it too far. I think I was saying it on your live the other night. The problem with, if you want Israel's hand out of politics, you think their hand is in our politics, you can't sound insane and go off the rail and just say a whole bunch of shit that isn't true. I'll give a good example. You can't go, oh, Bibi misrepresented a letter that Charlie sent him, which I think could absolutely be true. Could absolutely see that being true. And then also be hinting at their involvement in his assassination. I don't know. With no evidence, it's really hard. You sound really crazy, and you ruin any validity to go, hey, maybe they are controlling something. If they are controlling anything inside of a small pocket or whatever, you ruin all that validity when you go and just make outlandish claims and statements with no evidence. And that's just, I'm all for listening. I'm all for asking questions. I'm all for the big conspiracy. Trust me. But I want it to just be based in some kind of logic, not, hey, look at this video here. That guy looks suspicious. I have information. I'm going to show you text. And then we never see said text messages. So it's...
Yeah, I mean, it gets to a point where you have to just acknowledge the rage bait of, I have all this information. I'm going to show it very soon. But very soon is like, for every little thing, just drags on for months and months and months and months and months until the next story changes and then it's never shown. Listen, this isn't to say that Candace Owens isn't a smart person. She's a very smart woman.
Yeah.
I do feel like she's gone to the extreme on this Israel thing. And I'm not going to say that Israel is a good actor in every aspect. Everybody has their flaws.
That's what I mean.
But
Yep.
let's call it for what it is. It's a very big anti-Jew push.
Yep.
For most of these extreme dialogues that we see. And you can see it scrolling through X. It's just fucking disgusting rhetoric all the way across X.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying is the problem. I'm like, if you want some of these small pockets that are absolutely true, I mean, I don't know anywhere in this world that I can't find corruption, but if you want that to end, you can't just sound like you are the second coming of Hitler. You guys spew the rhetoric like you want to eliminate Jews off the planet because of what? Somebody that may be corrupt, like some individual you found. I think the biggest one that gets me is like all the 9/11 conspiracies. No, Jews have done everything in the world. And I'm like, guys, if you want, again, some kind of just change, some kind of what you want to see Israel's hand out of American politics, AIPAC, whatever the hell you want. You can't sound like a straight anti-Semite that wants Jews eradicated off the face of the planet. Nobody's going to listen to you. You sound like Nick Fuentes. I mean, there's just no narrative you're going to be able to push and get across to anybody when you're blaming the Jews for everything wrong in the world.
Well, yes. So people came in last night and they love to push how the UN has classified it a genocide over there in Israel. And I told them, I'm like, okay, so let's go over the people, because it's 3 people on this UN commission. And one of them is from South Africa, where they won't even acknowledge that white farmers are being killed down there. And there's some refugees from the Biden and Trump administration that have said that. You have a guy that's from India, where they're now siding with Russia and China, our enemies. And then the other one is from Australia, which you think he's fantastic because he's from Australia. No big issues, except for he was caught on a hot mic not wanting to answer why they are being biased and how he is a part of other anti-Israel groups.
Amazing. Fuck that. I forget what comedian said it, but they were right. It's an island full of whites that think they're the greatest individuals on the planet.
Yeah. Mind you, we just had the UK come out and say, yes, Israel has done some horrible shit. We're not saying they're the, innocent ones in this whole thing, but it is not a genocide. It is war. And what they're doing is what happens in a part of war.
Yeah. Yeah, and I agree. We can condemn war all day. I'm not a fan of war. I've been to war. I believe that war is an atrocity that I don't wish it upon anybody. But at the end of the day, sometimes it's necessary. And that's the sad reality of the world we live in. But anyways,
and maybe you guys can answer this question for me, because I've stayed far away from the topic. I don't care for it because I'm not don't care for it, but I'm just it's a long bit of history I'd have to go into to understand it. But why are we still continuing, or why is BB still continuing the war in Gaza? Like, I thought we had some kind of ceasefire agreement months ago. Again, I never looked into this. It's just a question that's popped up. I'm like, why are we still continuing this? I thought we had a ceasefire agreement like months ago.
The first terms of the ceasefire was for Hamas to release the hostages, which they refused to do.
Okay.
Yep. Yeah.
So, and then they fired rockets into Israel.
Yep. Yeah. It
thought. I mean,
yeah. Like,
I never looked into it. I didn't know. I remembered there was supposed to be some kind of ceasefire agreement, and then we're still fighting. So I didn't know.
And if the people of Israel are so innocent, then why do they keep voting the powers that be that put Hamas in charge as the military? And why does no country let refugees from Palestine, I should say, if Palestine's so innocent? Why can't they be a refugee in any country? Not Israel. Palestine. Israel, yeah, it's Palestine. I'm sorry, Palestine.
And I will point out, because a lot of them are like, Israel controls it. That's why they have, a lot of them will deflect to this point that most of these people were children when Hamas was elected. Okay, cool. Who stopped the elections? Because they'll try to say that Israel controls that aspect, but it's not. The PA out of the West Bank controls the Palestinian elections. They froze the elections after the Hamas-Fatah war in Gaza, where Hamas withdrew from the Oslo Accords, everything like that, and basically waged war and launched the Second Intifada. But they stopped it because Hamas was going to win the next election and take over the West Bank as well.
Yeah, just straight up, and that's why no one wants to let them be a refugee in their country, because they're literally supporting the terrorist organization that is Hamas. Yeah,
they were kicked out of Lebanon because they started a war with the Lebanese government. They were kicked out of Jordan because they tried to assassinate the Jordanian king. They were kicked out of Egypt and the Sinai because they were trying to kill the Egyptian president along with some other terrorist groups that were in the Sinai with the Muslim Brotherhood. So, yeah, I mean, everywhere they've gone, they've stirred up problems because they associate with these terror cells. And I'm not going to say all of them. I'm sure there's some great Palestinian people out there. But whenever you don't try to address the radicalism that is widespread in it, you're going to see some innocent actors pay for that. And that's about as much as I'm willing to speak on that anymore. This topic is so dividing for this country that I just try to avoid it at this point, because it doesn't. People are so locked. People are still so locked to their sides. It doesn't matter what I say. I could give them the entire breakdown of the entire history of the Middle East, and they'd tell me that I was a liar if it didn't align 100% with the narrative that they've been fed. So,
the last thing I'll end on is the liberals, the Democrats, are supporting and helping people that are cheering on the death of Charlie Kirk in GoFundMe's when they got fired, and they're doing all this sort to help out people that were getting fired as a consequence because of their political beliefs. Like, if they're willing to do that and their political ideologies align, that they won't print out, a poster to remember Charlie Kirk and have a vigil, or they're a doctor or a teacher that they're doing this stuff. How do we know that the doctor's not going to provide you the worst care possible because he knows that you like Trump.
We don't.
Yeah,
And
you
that's
come
Yeah.
in
the
a
scary
MAGA
concept of
hat
it.
and you just had a heart attack, and the doctor's like, "Oh, no, I
Yeah.
don't want to operate on you." Or say
Mhm.
you came in
Yeah.
a Harris Walls hat. It was the opposite way. Just turn it around.
Yeah.
The doctor's just doesn't want to operate on you because of your political views. Do you think that's right? Or
It's not. And they're giving people close to $80,000. I mean, it could be
Well,
even higher than that now.
Even outside of this, how many nurses did we see come across TikTok throughout the last few years of like where they talk about people who came in and they knew that they were Trump supporters and they openly admitted to mistreating them. Like this is the disgusting realm, and I wouldn't like if there was a nurse on the Republican side who was doing the exact same thing, I would condemn it. They need to be fired. They need to lose their job. That's all there is to it. They violated their Hippocratic oath,
Yep.
and they need to be out. That's it. That's all there is to it.
I
Because
mean,
you've
to the
lost
retail
you've
employees
lost your
who are like,
basic sense of humanity. So
yeah, and to the
Yeah.
retail employees that are like, I have the right to refuse service. Yes, you can refuse service to anybody, but that also has to align with your company policies. If you're
yeah, if you don't own it, then you can't do
refusing
whatever you
service
want.
for no reason at all, and you get video doing that, don't be surprised when you lose your job. You could align with the company's views entirely when you embarrass them like that on social media, and it gets thousands of views. You're gonna lose your job every single time. I mean, it should be common sense. I don't know why it's not, but I guess at some point we stop teaching our children that your actions do have consequences.
Well, they don't want to be held accountable for them. So they ask everyone else, hey, I got held accountable because I didn't like Charlie Kirk. So can you help me with a GoFundMe? And next thing you know, the woman is with $80,000 in a GoFundMe.
I could pay off your debt real quick. I think the next thing we are gonna do, I'm gonna pretend to be some liberal, and it's something. I'm gonna pull a fucking Jesse Smollett, not the race card, but I'm gonna find something that they'll pander to, and all my debt's gonna be gone. Hoff, your debt's gonna be gone. These
Well,
people will donate
What
to
about
the
my debt?
dumbest shit. Brant, you got it.
Yeah, you don't have any, like, you don't have a mortgage.
I can make some. I can make some.
Yeah.
You're doing okay. So
I know you're gonna buy like some dually big rig truck or something that you
I
need.
need no mortgage. So I'm gonna take all these donations, very kind donations, because I don't know how they're doing it. I mean, people donate to the dumbest shit, and
Well,
over the past
that's
year
the
and a half,
left.
I haven't seen this too often, but over the past year and a half, I have seen multiple GoFundMe's at well over $150,000 for the dumbest shit I've ever seen. I need to get into the business. It seems
Yeah.
lucrative.
Republicans typically go for the true good sob story of I have cancer, I need X amount of money to survive because I don't have good medical insurance or something of that nature. They go for really
like, please, community
yes.
help. Like, community help is
Yeah.
much need. That's not what I'm
Like,
saying at all. I'm talking
no.
about, like,
Yeah, that's the Republicans
outlandish
usually.
shit.
Yeah. But
Like,
anyways,
I
guys.
just got fired from my